Well, we're the only people here so far, folks. Unless there's a different address going on. Oh, here we go. Assign the captioner. Oh, I gotta go here. Did you get it?
I think you might have assigned me. I just got a thing that said you've been assigned closed captioner.
Sorry.
And you wouldn't want me doing it.
No, hold on. People keep getting added on, so that's why. Okay.
Do you need me to do anything, Joe?
No, I just got it. Now I just got to go back to, I think Catherine just got assigned. And Vinny, are you with us?
Yeah, you have to turn my video back on. You shut my video off.
Nice. You look much better.
It is an improvement. I won't argue with that.
Ask the start video. How's that?
There we go. Unfortunately, I'm back.
We have, let me see. Oh, no. We got some people showing up, I think. We have 5 attendees. Wait another minute. We put this out too. We did some public relations on this. We're just not getting a lot of interest, I guess.
People are back.
Mm-hmm.
So they're happy. Catherine, are you all set?
I think she is.
Yes, I'm good to go. Thank you.
Fantastic.
Well, it's at least it's a tie score between panelists and attendees, so we didn't lose. Thank you to the attendees for taking the time. I promise this won't be a long meeting, but we just wanted to kind of do some general information about what's going to be happening between now and the end of the year that I think is important for you to have. Of course, we'll try to also communicate some of this in writing, but in general, tonight's meeting is just for you to hear from me directly, and then we'll continue to push out communication to families. As a 6 to 12 group, you have children currently in 6th grade through 12th grade, and students that literally will be in 7th grade next year and potentially entering 12th grade next year, or the real world. I think it's really important for us to kind of update you on some of the information around COVID-19. You're wonderful as a way to communicate to everyone else. We currently have 2 active student cases in the district, both at the elementary level at one school. And we have 16 quarantine students and staff. To be quite honest, we took a very conservative approach to a incident over this weekend and late last week, but we're happy with it. And tonight I sent out a communication about the new standards and protocols around quarantining. So these numbers of quarantine will probably drop tomorrow because of those standards. So we're in general, I have to say we're in a really good place as it relates to the COVID situation with either our students or our staff, and that's a compliment to the families and to the students and to the community at large as we continue to tackle this situation. The last 31 days of school, that includes tomorrow, we're down to 31 days of school. Today I announced that the last day of school is in fact Thursday, June 17th. If you recall, we had 1 traditional snow day, and then we had 2 contractual days of professional development with the staff. So that means that the students had the extra 3 days. So it is now June 17th, which is a Thursday, and that will be a district-wide early release day as well, which is what we've done in the past. The next 31 days are full of a number of different things. Principal Dahlman, who's on the call with us today, and Vincent Searcy, our Director of PPS and Counseling. You know, we've got everything to do with graduation and class nights and parades and this and that and everything else, and that'll become very formal Thursday night. after Ethan presents it to the school committee, and then we will share it with the entire district so that everybody in the district, regardless if you have a senior or you don't, recognizes what's going on. We do not have traditional final assessments taking place, so we are looking at the last 4 days of schools as being regular days, except for the last day of school as a half day. And we have the wonderful MCAS. So a couple of clarifying points for all of you. Number one, if you have students in grades 9 taking the intro to physics, they will in fact have to take that test. I happen to be the proud parent of one of those parents that is going to have a child taking a test. But that's a good thing, because that means of the 3 tests, they potentially, if they pass that test, are done with science and can continue to just build their transcript for college and or the workplace. And students in grade 10 will in fact be taking their ELA and math tests. The other situation is students in grades 3 through 8 are taking their ELA and math tests as well. And those schedules all been shared with families, but they're also posted on our website if you need some more information. I want to clarify something that I know many of us maybe believe we can, and you can because you're a parent, and that's the issue of opting out. There is no such thing under the regulations that you have the right to opt out. It's a farce because it has not gone through the schools, it has not gone through the courts yet. The law simply states that all students need to be tested as a federal guideline to the states. Parents have the right to make their own decisions, of course. If you choose not to test your child at the high school level, which is a graduation requirement, your student cannot earn a traditional high school diploma. So that would be problematic. So typically what you see is the high school kids will be taken, and there's some more questioning going on from others. Denny, I don't know if you want to add anything to that. I hate to put you on the spot, but anything that, or Jen, that really, or Ethan actually, that sticks out about any of those comments for clarification?
I would clarify one other thing too with it, as far as our testing this year, and I'll be sending a letter home to families tomorrow, especially 11th grade families. Is there option for 11th graders to opt in? So we'll actually have a form for 11th graders to opt in. This would be to qualify for the Adams or Koplik scholarships. There's also, I found out today actually, we offer the Seal of Biliteracy in our World Language department, and in order to be actually biliterate, you need to have a proficient or exceeds in English, and you need to then pass what's called the APPLE test, which is for the sort of proficiency organization nationwide, in order to qualify for that. So if you wanted to do it, you'd have to take the English MCAS as an 11th grader in order to qualify for that. So those are the 2 reasons for the Adams and Koplik scholarships that are offered through the state, and then also potentially the Seal of Biliteracy if students are interested in opting in. So I'll be sending a form home tomorrow to 11th grade parents, sort of with information about the MCAS and the process for opting in.
Yeah, and Ethan, thanks for saying that, because the Seal of Biliteracy took a long time for the state to work on, but it does have it's well recognized. It's something that will only benefit a student as they're moving on into the real world, as I say, and it does give them those skill sets, also potentially with colleges and universities down the line. So it's a win-win for a test that costs them some time, but doesn't cost them any further money or anything. It's free to take the test. So something to think about.
I just put the dates for MCAS for grades 6 to 12 in the chat for families as well. And they are, as you mentioned, on our website.
Thanks, Jen.
While we're on the topic of assessments, I'm just going to touch on AP, if that's all right.
Yeah.
So our AP exams this year are going to start a little bit later. We decided to go with administration 2 and 3. So we'll start on Monday the 17th. Emails have gone out to parents and students about which of the exams will be offered on which dates and at which time. I'll be sending out some follow-up emails this week and then next week about specific instructions that students have to follow, especially with some of the exams now are being given virtually. In fact, most of our exams are virtual this year per AP. We do have some that are being offered or have to be offered in person. And again, all that information has already been sent out, but I'll be doing some follow-ups with both students and parents.
As a former AP teacher, it only took a pandemic for them to finally be able to provide it online. The other important topic for some of you with students returning back to hopefully some type of normalcy in the fall is our recovery and acceleration plan that we'll be sharing with families around recovery in terms of students who need support, as well as students for the purposes of acceleration. And the key here is that we're going to break it up really into 5 domains, if you will. The JCS, the LGN, the Hay, the middle school, and the high school. It's going to look a little different in each building because of things like, for example, at the high school, you're building transcripts. Even at the middle school, if you're deciding to leave us, you're building the transcript, but more importantly, making sure that you're following the protocol of our curriculum as you enter Norton High. So we'll be looking at that as literally as a entering grades 1 through entering grade 12 program within our district around literacy. It's going to be potentially provided both in person and online. I think we're going to take a shot at looking at online options for families, especially we recognize that some families want to probably get away this summer or maybe want to spend some time at another location, if you will, if you're doing that, a house in Maine or whatever it may be. And so online would not stop you from getting some support. And so we'll be putting together lists of students. We'll be moving into the fall, doing the same thing where we were going to extend, if you will, the school day for students. This will be by parental choice, student choice, and as well as staff choice, teacher choice. In other words, providing supports because you as a parent think that Johnny could use a little bit more help in an area, looking at the data, seeing if the data supports that, and then actually providing it at no cost to families. We're actually even working, and I'm going to use the word working, to try to see if we can do late buses for those types of programs next year for at least a period of time, especially with students in 6 through 12. So there'll be more information coming out on that in the next few weeks. We also have already published an enrichment program, which is more so for the younger kids, but those of you that have families with younger kids at home, that's an opportunity as well. And Champions, of course, is also available, again, usually the younger students. This coming Saturday is the annual town meeting, as you probably know. It's at 1 p.m., weather permitting. On the budget on the town meeting floor for us are 3 key items. There's our budget for next year. There's the debt exclusion for the town hall, senior center, and the athletic complex, which has already passed 1 vote. Now it has to pass the town meeting. And then the third part is our article on train, which is an upgrade of all of our facilities, HVAC systems, as well as going to solar for the purposes. It's a $12 million project at no extra cost to the local taxpayer. It's all based on savings, cost avoidance, and grants. And so we've got that. The town, by the way, will be coming up for their own as well, probably as early as the fall. So this is not a school project, it's a municipal project, but the schools went first because of the size and the amount of bills that we have in the area of utilities. I also can say tonight that I am 99.9% sure that we will see a fee, we will see decreases in 2 fees for next year. The transportation fee is currently set at $250 instead of $350. And the athletic fee is also set at $250 instead of $350. We're even looking to go past that to take a look at family options, but right now that's the best we can do. We did Thursday night, we will cut our budget by just under $1 million to get to the 2.5% increase. So to be able to decrease those fees is actually probably a good thing, and hopefully we can do even more and get to a goal of someday not having any or having limited fees that aren't as much for families. And then lastly, this week is Teacher Appreciation Week. If you have an opportunity, take 2 seconds to send a nice note to one of your child's favorite teachers, or a teacher, or all of them. I know that the stress level has been pretty high this year. There's been a lot of opinions about public education. There's been a lot of good opinions. There's been a lot of negative opinions. There's been a lot of stresses. And I know that my staff is feeling it. But I also am pretty proud that in general, I think you've seen that we've been at the forefront in some of the changes going back to September, where we were one of the first districts to have some of our students in our specialized programs coming to school on a regular basis. And at one point as much as 4 times a week. And then we went through the hybrid model, and then literally we were one of the first to be K-12 fully back in the region. And to be quite honest, I think it's gone really, really well. We have really not had to really look at closing a building or the district during this in significant tumultuous times. Again, kudos to families, kudos to our students, right? I mean, the idea that they're coming to school regardless of a disability, regardless of they're not wanting to wear their masks. Our students have been models. They're not perfect, but models aren't perfect, right? Everybody's got some type of situation. So really, really proud of our students, and really proud that Thursday night we'll be announcing some activities for our seniors. Specifically, we are planning on a prom for after graduation. We are planning on graduation to be at Norton High School on June 4th. Don't they wish it was January 4th? On June 4th, which is a Friday night at 5:30, rain, weather permitting. If not, it moves to Saturday. We'll announce some times for Saturday, depending on weather, and if then needed, Sunday. So literally that weekend is what we're telling everybody would be the graduation weekend, hopefully at some point on school grounds outside. There will be some limited seating, but to be quite frank, that entire football field area is we're allowed to have about 1,600 people on it. So we're going to have some room to probably announce that we'll have some extra seating for families that are really going to need it. Ethan?
So just some of the guidance from the state limits it to 6 guests per student. So that's sort of where we were last year, and we're going to stick with that number of guests per student there as well. We will have the opportunity to have I've already had some teachers from in the district reach out wanting to see our students graduate. So we'll be able to have those students there as well. And yeah, we can definitely work on that space, but the state guidance is just 6 per student. So we were going to stick with that.
We'll see how much they move it in the next month.
They've already revised it twice. So
right, exactly. They've revised it twice in just under 2 weeks. And from the time I had a superintendent's meeting with the Commissioner of Education to the time you received it, it had already changed. So, but kudos to them. They're trying to make it work in a better light, considering that the numbers are also showing that as well. I didn't say, I think if I missed it, the town meeting is Saturday at 1 p.m. I don't know if I had stated the time, weather permitting. So look for announcements on that if it's in fact raining, and then or other weather situations. And really, the only other thing that I have for you in general is when you're looking at this summer and the transition into September, we want to start thinking about really individual needs of students. So one of the things that we'll be asking you is to reach out to guidance counselors, adjustment counselors, especially any situations that have to deal with a potential mental health situation that you have not seen in your child before. That you're worried about. Anxiety and depression are the 2 that we're seeing at the top of the list. Please don't hold back on that. We are trained confidential professionals. We can help with providing communication to insurance in terms of outside resources. And it's going to take a village. It's not just the school system, and it's not just you as a family. It's going to take you and us working on supporting your child. Because it could be, as I would say, it could be something that's long lasting, or it could be a hiccup, something that's come about because of age, puberty, and a pandemic, all in one. Kids do feel the effects of layoffs. They do feel the effects of substance abuse. They do feel the effects of mental health within the home, and then it can happen to you. And we want to make sure that you recognize that we are ready to support those types of issues, but we're going to need that communication from you, to be quite honest, sooner than later, so that we can prepare, we can advise. We will be going live with something called Interface, INTERFACE. It'll be on our website. It's an actual, if you will, kind of roundabout, all-inclusive services delivery model, where you can go on there and you can call a number and you can get access to mental health services and psychology, psychologists and psychiatrists and all of that different stuff. And of course, working through, of course, insurance and all of that, but still not having to find yourself lost in where do I go. So we will be launching that as soon as we can in July, but definitely have it ready is our goal for the fall. And so it's kind of a wraparound services delivery model. I see Vinny shaking his head because that's his department and expertise, but we're kind of looking forward to it because it's kind of a one-stop shopping for all families. So if you want to be confidential, you don't want to reach out to us, you don't want to talk to us, there's still another place that you can go. But there's also a place where we can help you. And it's available 24/7 and on weekends, 365. There's always somebody to pick up the phone on the other side to support a family. And students can call themselves as well. So watch for that. We're really excited about that.
And it does go beyond sort of psychological or counseling services too, medical specialists, supports around other things, family support, just about any kind of human service or medical situation that you're in. And like, Joe, I can't find somebody, I'm not sure where to go. These people are just outstanding at helping and locating services and medical providers. So I'm personally very excited. I know our staff, our counseling staff is very excited to have that as a resource for themselves and for the families. So.
There's a question about athletics in the spring. Ethan, I don't know if you have any update. I don't think that the spring, if you will, announcement for sports in terms of number of people who can attend has been made public yet. I know that it's been 2 consistently, but I would be hoping that MIAA's got some type of or the TVL has got some type of a comment on that.
Yeah, I mean, it's really going to be facility dependent as far as how many people can be there as spectators and what we have for available seating to be socially distanced and those types of things. So I don't believe Mr. Sumner has sent out guidance on that quite yet. Some of the sports, for instance, obviously wrestling is a spring sport here for us, and sort of how that might work out, we don't quite know yet either. But yeah, no, we will definitely, I'll touch base with Mr. Sumner and see where that is right now. I don't know of any specific guidance that we've made public quite yet.
Yeah, the outside sports are going to be probably a lot more lenient than the inside sports. That's been the tradition that we've seen from the state. So if wrestling's taking place outside, there might be more flexibility. If it's inside, there's probably going to be less flexibility. But I would hope that it's no less than 2 per, which is what we've done. And again, I can see the baseball field or the softball field having more people because it's so much open. But it's going to depend on following the rules for us. That's what we've been trying to do and be consistent from season to season within those rules. So we'll make sure that Aaron Sumner gets information out. Great question. Any other thoughts or questions from the panelists or from our families? If you have concerns, please reach out to the middle school administration, the high school administration, any of us in central office here tonight. Use the Let's Talk. If you so choose, just go right to the district site, hit Let's Talk, and you can fill out whatever you want for a question. And we're pretty good at returning responses to that quickly. You can always email us. You can always call the office. Calling is probably the slowest turnaround. Email is probably the fastest turnaround, along with Let's Talk. And no question is a dumb question. Every question is a good question because it actually leads us to maybe having to push out information, i.e. the sports question that just came out, being mindful to the athletic director that there are people that are waiting for that answer. And that's all I have. Thoughts? Questions? You can feel free to put it in the chat or put it in the Q&A. I'll wait another minute. See if there's any questions or anything. Panelists, anything that for 6 to 12? There'll probably be more questions about K to 5 than there are 6 to 12. But
The only thing is we're working on schedules right now. All of the guidance counselors have met with their students. They've set up invites, Google Meets, and so forth. That's a little bit of a longer process with everything that's happening. One of the things that we are really working with, especially the high school students, the upperclassmen, is to really think about balancing their schedules this year in terms of, not taking 5 AP classes, having some time to get back into the swing of things and to make sure that they give themselves opportunities to be successful and not ease back in, but to really work their way back into a full regular school year, and being mindful of sort of their own mental health. So those are the kinds of things I think we're addressing, and it's taken a little bit longer this year, but we're moving ahead on the schedule. I know that's been some questions out there about that.
Thank you, and thank you to the compliment. Somebody's just on, just thanking us for all our work. We appreciate it very much, and we thank you for supporting us, because sometimes our days are spent more with negative than positive. So any positive we'll take, and we'll take the negatives too. It's part of the job, and we try to resolve it as we can.
So I texted Mr. Sumner in order to get an answer for our spectators, and really, actually, outdoor sports, there is no maximum. The TVL left it open for schools to decide, as long as parents or spectators can be masked and socially distant, 6 feet apart outside, with their masks on, then they can have as many as we can fit. So that would apply obviously to track meets, girls lacrosse, softball, baseball. Wrestling, which is going to be going on indoors, would be 2 per family, or if there are younger siblings, they could attend as well, and that'll be indoors for the spring. So,
boy, you can't get any faster result to a question than that. Hope that helps, Teresa, on resolving that for you and everybody else that's on tonight.
Sorry,
Great
I left
question.
out boys and girls tennis, and I'm a former boys tennis coach too, so I apologize for that. But yeah, there are also as many as you can fit. So
yeah, I'm glad you brought that up too, because the athletic complex, I don't know if you've noticed, but any of you that are tennis, we're down to the wire with the tennis courts at the middle school being open or available for MIAA participation. So hopefully you have some perspectives on the athletic complex, and you'll be attending the town meeting. I can't say too much above more than that, except for the facts, as I'm a public official, so I can't speak to it. Okay, thank you all very much. Have a great evening. Thank you for taking the time away from your family to join us tonight, and thank you to my colleagues for joining me, and as well as interpreters who are the best in the world, and also with our closed captions. So thank you all very, very much. Have a great night.
Thank you, everyone. Have a great night.
Bye. Thank you, everyone.
thank you very much.